안녕하세요. 유ena halabajio. Well, this is just a snippet of life from the last few years. Um, we all probably remember when the pandemic began. I certainly do. I'm sure we were all strongly affected. Around here by, I think, March 15th of 2020, the world started to shut down. We weren't allowed to go anywhere, or all of our pubs closed. It was just, we all had to stay distance, and everyone knows the drill. It was the same, not just here in the United States, it was the same world over. I find it very bizarre when people get excited at the idea that somehow the United States did something differently. They didn't. We just followed everyone else. Anyway, at that time, uh, my wife and I used to go over to the local pub. It was a short walk, a couple of blocks, 2 or 3 blocks, so we could go have a beer on a Friday night and walk home, not have to worry about driving. It was really great. But all of a sudden, we couldn't go anywhere or do anything. Everything was shut. And of course, we wanted to be responsible citizens, so we put on our masks and we kept our distance. Um, and one day, in a few weeks after that started, it was probably the 1st of April, thereabouts, to 2020, I thought, well, I don't want to be like locked up like this for the rest of my life. So I decided I would just open up my garage door. I have a nice piece of property with a really nice wide driveway. And I set up some chairs, some tables, and put them all 6 feet or more apart so we'd be socially distanced. And just waited to see if, and sat down in my chair, put on some IU music, and waited to see if anybody in the neighborhood would be coming by and maybe we could just hang out socially distanced. And that's what we did. And what happened was people just started showing up, and different families and groups of people would sit at socially distanced in my driveway, bring their own beer and their own snacks, and we just hung out and had our own private pub in the driveway. At first, it was just me and a couple of people, and over time, it wound up being the whole neighborhood. Sometimes there'd be half a dozen of us, sometimes there'd be 20 of us. You never knew because there was no concept of an invite or I'll be there next week. No, every Friday, I decided that's what I was going to do. I would just set up some basic tables, some basic seats, and we just sit and we'd have a chance to have some socializing despite the lockdown. So as time passed, and of course the rules of the pandemic disappeared, it took a while, it took over a year, we just started putting the tables and chairs closer. And it became just a community thing to do. Anybody who happened to be home, anybody who happened to be passing through the neighborhood you could wave at, could come, take a seat. People would bring snacks. Everybody shared whatever they had. And we just sat, listened to Korean music. Okay, and we had what I called my driveway pub every Friday. And we've been doing that now over 4 years. It's amazing. It still goes on every Friday, unless I happen to be out of town or it's pouring rain. I open up my driveway. I set up some chairs and tables, small stuff. It's not a big deal. It's just a very informal setup, and anybody who happens to be home in the neighborhood comes by, and we hang out together for usually about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. It's our end of the week pub. And it's funny, after all this time, it's still going on. So I thought I'd show you a little video from last night because we only had like 8 people. It was a very small group because a couple of people were on vacation, some people were in Hawaii. It's whoever happens to be there. And I thought I might share a couple of photos as well. But here's just a little snippet of what happened last night. Okay, hang on.
Who was invited to dinner one night, and then with my department we went to the restaurant.
I love the
We had lunch and they gave me presents and everything, and then there was a retirement party for the school. There was 9 of us in the whole district that were retired, which is really low. Usually it's more like 20.
Yeah.
And so it was a lovely night. And then they had another one of the schools invited.
So that's a little snippet, just what it's like when we're just sitting out in my driveway. And shortly after this video was taken, Daniel and Edith and little Harper showed up, my little granddaughter Harper, and they hung out with us. And a couple more people from the street stopped by.
Hard sodas.
I've never seen it.
These are
Have you seen?
Yeah, I know the brand.
It's alcoholic sodas.
Are they?
They are.
That is cool.
Have you ever had the Cerritos sodas before?
Yeah, the Mexican sodas.
The Mexican sodas. This is the pineapple. There's a mandarin. There's a tamarind and fruit punch. And
okay.
I'm
It's
forgetting
kind of
one.
light. Is it light
And
They call it hard soda. I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
it's hard soda.
Oh, wow.
Mandarin, pineapple, tamarind, and fruit punch. That's the other one. So.
Hi, Harper.
Is this the
Harper.
little camera from
Yay.
Edith? This is the,
Is Harper here?
oh, it's the, yeah.
Harper.
All right, well, this morning I went to work for the last time. And
I just thought I would share this. It was the wonderful thing that came out of the pandemic, and it fits that old adage that says, you know, they say you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. The idea that you can't turn pigskin into silk. Well, I think in a way we really did. As a community, with the coming of the pandemic, we really drew together very tightly, and we've been closer and closer as time has gone by. We all share the keys to each other's homes. You know, we all take care of each other's things when someone's gone. And in many ways, we use the pandemic as an opportunity to pull together as a community. And we're still together as a community. Oh, yeah, and I can even show you a few pictures from the past. Hang on, let me show you a picture from a past party a few months ago. Let me hang on. This is a more typical size gathering. You can see I'm in the picture, even in my blue T-shirt. But that's pretty much a typical size grouping that we have. As I said, sometimes it goes up to 20, but that's about average. Last night was very thinly populated. And of course, I don't want to miss the chance to show you little Harper. Oh, there's little Harper. Isn't she adorable? Anyway, I just thought I'd share a little bit of this with you now. Just a little snippet of a story of what we've been doing here for the last 4 years. Really, you could always turn a unfortunate situation into something that can bring you some happiness, and I think that's what we've done here. Okay, anyway, I'll go back to my normal. Okay.